In an interesting turning point, Jacob Zuma, the leader of the political party, currently an opposition political party in South Africa, once again has voiced his support to Morocco's sovereignty over the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic. This was made during his visit in Ghana while he, making a speech in the University of Professional Studies in Accra. During this time, Zuma reiterated his position as reported by as this was showing from the news that are coming from the place. Why we say reiterated? Because Jacob Zuma has already expressed that when he was paying a visit to Morocco a month ago. Now, this has sparked an anger in the African National Congress, ANC, because this is completely a departure from the principles of ANC and South Africa as a country, because South Africa is known supporting those movements in Africa or elsewhere in the world who are fighting colonialism. Now, those of you who might not be familiar with the Sahara, the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, or shortly known as the Sahrawi Arab, it is the southern part of Morocco. And while Morocco was colonized by the French, the Sahrawi Arab was colonized by Spain or the Spanish. When the Spanish left, Morocco immediately claimed the Sahrawi Arab as its southern province. So ever since, it has been, a point of argument, and some support, some doesn't. But this is something a critical, a significant move by the African Union in 1984, which was a decision to grant membership to SADR-led Morocco, and this has SADR is the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic, and this has in fact led for Morocco to withdraw from its membership from the African Union, and then later on join back in 2017 back to the African Union. In fact, during those times, Morocco has even asked, given the proximity, but of course there's a deeper meaning, to be a member of the European Union. I know you might be laughing at this. Well, now let's go into this. Now, the purpose of this video is what kind of impact it has both on Ghana and South Africa, meaning for this MK party to go out and support for the first time a party from South Africa supporting Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab. And this has angered, and in fact, ANC has demanded an apology from Jacob Zuma. Now, MK has 38 seats in the parliament of South Africa. That's quite major, making it a second popular party in South Africa's politics. It comes before the EFF of Julius Malema. Now, the impacts on both Ghana and Zuma's party is that, let's talk about first Ghana. Ghana, ever since Kwame independence time, Kwame Nkrumah time, they used to support the Sahrawi Arab. So it's also known as the Polisario movement. Those are the one who says, they're going to get Sahrawi Arab free from its colonizers. Okay, so Ghana is known to support that, as Kwame Nkrumah believed that for those who are colonized needs to be free. Now, it was for the first time a Ghanaian ruling party during John Mahama, which is a president that took power in January this year, recognizing Morocco's sovereignty over the Sahrawi Arab. This is like a visit of Zuma in Ghana. He's visiting, meeting in this.
Welcome, my brother.
You see, meeting the former president. So this means that it has actually John Mahama has received a backlash, a criticism, wider criticism across Ghana for changing its position, supporting Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab as opposed to supporting Sahrawi Arab for its independence movement. Now, I'm going to read for you an article what this means on Ghana, and then also I will explain on what it means Jacob Zuma's recognition, this opposition political party recognizing Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab. Okay, now allow me to read this article for you. I'm going to share it in a minute with you, because it's really important for you to know the extent of what it means, Ghana's support of Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab. Now, look, as it reads, Ghana's departure from Pan-African solidarity. Okay, that's how it says. For Ghana, the decision is particularly jarring given its historical legacy of Pan-Africanism and solidarity with African countries in their fight for independence. Exactly, what I have tried to say earlier, because Ghana is known for that. Now, it also goes on saying, under Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana championed the causes of anti-colonialism and self-determination, extending support to movements in Africa and beyond. The recognition of SADR, that's Sahara Arab Democratic Republic in 1979, was a continuation of this legacy, reaffirming Ghana's commitment to justice and decolonization. The socialist movement of Ghana denounced the decision as a betrayal of the people of the Sahrawi Arab Democratic Republic and Africa, accusing the Akufo-Addo administration of advancing the interests of Western imperialist powers over the aspiration of the Sahrawi people. It also notes that the moves disrupts long-standing national, regional, and continental solidarity with SADR in its anti-colonial struggles, describing it as a dastardly parting shot aimed at aiding Morocco in its colonial hold over Western Sahara. Now this is what is the sentiment in Ghana. Now, just for you as an additional information, during the inauguration of John Mahama's presidency back in January this year, both presidents were invited actually from Morocco and also Algeria. Why do I bring Algeria? Algeria is a country which is also like Morocco in North Africa, and which is this country supports the independent movement of the Polisario movement in their struggle against colonization, meaning to be a state by themselves or a self-governing state. So Algeria and Morocco are totally neighbors, but they don't like each other. So because of this thing. Now, both the presidents were invited. I think Algeria, the president didn't come. Somebody else came, a representative from the government, but the Morocco, the king came. And because of this announcement, right after he took power, John Mahama of Ghana, the person who even came as a representative of the government from Algeria left Ghana before the inauguration time. This is that much politicized, the issue of Sahrawi Arab. So for Ghana, this is what it means. From Kwame Nkrumah time, anti-colonialism movements are supported now, surpassing this, and John Mahama supporting Morocco sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab is totally unacceptable for Ghana. Now, when we come to South Africa, you all know recently how they are a country, not a Western country, not an Arab country from the League of Nations. It was South Africa that led taking Israel, accusing Israel for genocide and taking it to the international criminal, was it to the ICC or the ICJ, something like that, criminal justice, something like that, took Israel to there. So South Africa is known for that. They support, like Cuba and others, all these movements that are fighting colonialism. Okay, so MK, even if now it's not part of the ANC, it's not part of the government union, it has parted its way from the ANC. In fact, that has created a crack in ANC, because Jacob Zuma used to be a member of ANC. Now having its own political party and then recognizing Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab is totally against the principle of South Africa's policy that it has been following. And here is the thing, the irony is that Jacob Zuma, when he was a president, he himself has supported the Polisario movement for this, for them to be a state. I'm going to read you an article. Look, in 2014, Jacob Zuma, when he was a president, he referred to occupation and colonialism in the context of Western Sahara. And this is how it reads. Quote, "We will continue to support the struggles for freedom and self-determination, including the struggles of the peoples of Palestine and Western Sahara who continue to experience occupation and colonialism of different forms." Jacob Zuma, not only he echoed this sentiment in his speech in AU or other places, but also in the United Nations. Now that he's leading an opposition political party, he is doing something totally opposite from ANC and opposite totally from the historical point of view of South Africa itself. Now, these are the impacts that have entailed, recognizing Morocco's sovereignty over the Sahrawi Arab for Ghana and also for Jacob Zuma's MK party. Now, you may ask also, what does the African Union? The African Union stance is the same. It supports the anti-colonialism movement of the Polisario movement. SADR it's a member state by itself in the African Union, not a state, but it's a member. Let's put it that way. Okay. Now, from the member states in the African Union, what you see is not all member states are supporting this. The Southern African countries, you can see where South Africa is located, all the SADC movement, like the South African Development the Southern African Development Community, all those countries are opposed of Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab, so they support the Polisario movement for the Sahrawi Arab to be a state governed by itself. All right, so that's what it is. And In Eastern Africa, you see also Kenya is supporting again Morocco's sovereignty over Sahrawi Arab. William Ruto did that when he came to power. But guess what? Kenyans, as they are known for their, house mobilization, whenever there is something that they don't like within the government, they come out on the street. Also, they talk about it a lot over their media. It's a very, compared to other countries, it's a very liberal media in Kenya. So they criticize their government from left to right. Guess what? Finally, they have revoked that statement, and it has, delayed. Ruto wanted to open an embassy in Morocco, but I think that didn't happen. But anyways, they have revoked that statement, and they covered it up as, okay, we want to be in line with the African Union stance, so to support the struggle of all people to be free. So that's what they said. So Ruto has revoked that statement. Now, something particular about Morocco is that Morocco, it has left the African Union in 1984, when the African Union took Sahrawi Arab as a member and then joined bank in 2017. Morocco wanted also to become a member of the European Union, but the European Union has refused that. For other African countries that are supporting Morocco's sovereignty over the Sahara Arab are Sierra Leone, Chad, Liberia, and Somalia, and most of the Eastern African countries and the Southern African bloc as a whole are not supporting Morocco when it comes to the Sahrawi Arab. Now, here is my thing. I want to ask this. When we take the Ghana's case, why people opposed it is that Kwame Nkrumah. Kwame Nkrumah his principles was that to support all these kinds of movement in their struggle against colonialism, right? So that's Pan-Africanism, in other words. And then in Pan-Africanism, there is also the issue of unity, right? So if we are supporting unity, then the Sahrawi Arab becoming an independent state from Morocco, isn't that also contradicting Pan-Africanism itself? But guess what? I kind of have an assumption why this could be so, because maybe when it comes to the Sahrawi Arab, it wasn't part of Morocco, because right after the Spanish left, Morocco went and claimed, this is my southern province, okay, the province in the southern part of Morocco, but still the movement continued, so it was not really known as the Sahrawi Arab as part of Morocco. So they have been still fighting. So that gives it, that is to say, so they were never, let's put it, they were never married like Sahrawi Arab and Morocco. They all have been different. Again, thanks to the colonialism, the rest of Morocco was colonized by the French, and this Sahrawi Arab by the Spanish. Okay, so this is the thing. But of course, had we had that unified government, all these problems might have gotten a solution, answering to the question of all the people in the continent. But let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this? Do you see a contradiction in this Pan-Africanism? On one hand, Pan-Africanism is also supporting those movements who are fighting against colonialism. On the other hand, Pan-Africanism is also about unity. Don't you think, when you take the case of Sahrawi Arab and Morocco, do you find it contradicting? Let us know in the comment section. For me, that was it for now. I will see you on the next one. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Fred Banto, we hear you, I read you. I wouldn't say AU is totally a neo-colonial agency. Well, it's a different view. We cannot just discredit it like that. For me, my saying that we can claim the African Union. That's my opinion, of course. Okay, bye bye then. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.